And then I'm gonna bang your tuna girlfriend.
Okay. You know what? First off, a lion swimming in the ocean? Lions don't like water. If you'd placed it near a river or some sort of other freshwater source, that would make sense. But you find yourself in the ocean, 20-foot waves, I'm assuming it's off the coast of South Africa, coming up against a full-grown 800-pound tuna with his 20 or 30 friends. You lose that battle. You lose that battle 9 times out of 10. And guess what? You've wandered into our school of tuna, and now we have the taste for lion. We've talked to ourselves, we've communicated and said, you know what? Lion tastes good. Let's go get some more lion. We'll develop a system to establish a beachhead to aggressively hunt you and your family. We will corner your children, your pride, your offspring. We'll construct a series of breathing apparatuses with kelp, be able to trap certain amounts of oxygen. It's not going to be days at a time, hour 45, no problem. That will give us enough time to figure out where you live, go back to the sea, get more oxygen, and then stalk you. You just lost your own game, my friend. Outgunned, and you're outmanned. Did that go the way you think it was going to go? Nope.
I mean, I just can't believe Nikki's teaching this book to the kids. I mean, the whole time, let me just break it down for you. The whole time you're rooting for this Hemingway guy to survive the war and to be with the woman he loves, Catherine Barkley. And he does. He does. He survives the war. After getting blown up, he survives it and he escapes off to Switzerland with Catherine. But now Catherine's pregnant. Isn't that wonderful? She's pregnant. And they're going to escape into the mountains. They're going to be happy and they're going to be drinking wine and they dance. They both like to dance with each other. There's scenes of them dancing, which was boring, but I liked it because they were happy. You think he would end it there? No. He writes another ending. She dies, Dad. I mean, the world's hard enough as it is, guys. It's fucking hard enough as it is. Can't someone be like, hey, let's be positive. Let's write a happy ending to the story. Mom, for what? I can't apologize. I'm not going to apologize for this. You know what I will do? I will apologize on behalf of Ernest Hemingway, because that's who's to blame here.
You're both fucking insane. You want to know what your problem is? MTV, Playboys, and Madison fucking Avenue. Yes, let me explain something to you, okay? Girls with big tits have big asses. Girls with little tits have little asses. That's the way it goes. God doesn't fuck around. He's a fair guy. He gave the fatties big, beautiful tits and the skinnies little tiny niddlers. If you don't like it, call him. It's not my rule. Oh, look what we have here. Look at this. Your favorite, right? Oh, you like that? That's nice, right? Well, it doesn't fucking exist, okay? Look at the hair. The hair is long, it's flowing, it's like a river. Well, it's a fucking weave, okay? And the tits. Please, I could hang my overcoat on them. Tits, by design, are purely functional. They were intended to be suckled by babies. These are Silicone City. Oh, and my favorite. The shaved pubis. Pubic hair being so unruly and all. Very keen. This is a mockery. This is a sham. This is bullshit. Implants, collagens, plastics, cap teeth, the fat sucked out, the nose fixed, the bush. These are not real women. They're beauty freaks, and they make all of us normal women with our cellulite and our puckered boobs and our wrinkles seem somehow inadequate. Well, I'm not buying it, all right? What, you fucking mooks? You think that there's a chance in hell that you'll end up with one of these women? Then you aren't giving us normal women anything approaching a commitment. I don't know what you think you're gonna do. You're gonna end up 80 years old, drooling in some nursing home somewhere, and what, you're gonna realize, oh, I better settle down, get married, and have kids? What are you gonna do then, find a cheerleader? Oh, eat me. Look at Paul with his models on the wall and his dog named Elle McPherson. He's insane. He's obsessed. You're all obsessed. If you had even an ounce of self-confidence, self-esteem, of self-worth, you would realize that, as trite as it may sound, beauty truly is skin deep. No matter how perfect the nipple, how supple the thigh, unless there's some other shit going on in the relationship besides the physical, things are gonna get old fast, okay? And you guys as a gender have got to get a grip. Otherwise, the future of the human race is gonna be in jeopardy.
For me, it's better I don't romanticize things as much anymore. I can't deal with the everyday life of a relationship. We'd have this exciting time together, then he leaves, and I'd miss him. But at least I'm not dying inside. Whenever someone is always around me, I'm suffocating. It's not so easy for me to be all romantic. You start off that way, and after you've been screwed over a few times, you just take whatever comes into your life, and you just give up on all your delusional ideas. I was fine until I read your fucking book. It stirred shit up. It reminded me of how genuinely romantic I was and how I had so much hope in things, and now I don't believe in anything that relates to love. I can't feel things for people anymore. It's almost like, in a way, I put all my romanticism into that one night, and I was never able to feel all of this again. Somehow, that night took things away from me. Like, I expressed them to you, and you took them with you. Somehow, destiny not allowing me to see you again made me cold, like if love wasn't for me. Reality and love are almost contradictory to me. It's funny. Every single one of my exes are now married. Men go out with me, we break up, and then they get married. Later, they call me to thank me for teaching them what love is, how I taught them to care and respect women. Why didn't they ask me to marry them? I would have said no, but at least they could have asked. But it's my fault. I never felt that it was the right man. Never. What does it mean, the right man? The love of your life? The concept is absurd. The idea that we can only be complete with another person is evil, right? I guess I've been heartbroken too many times and then recovered. Because now, from the start, I make no effort because I know it's not going to work anyway.
It's no big secret. Your mom and I, we're in hell right now. And the bottom line is, marriage is hard. It's really fucking hard. Just two people slogging through the shit every day, year after year, changing. It's a fucking marathon, okay? And instead of talking about it, you go off the rails and act grubby and make stupid choices. Which is what I did. And I feel sick about it because I love you guys. And I love your mom. Sometimes you hurt the ones you love the most. And I don't know why. Anyway, I just want you to know how sorry I am for what I did. I hope you'll forgive me eventually. Thanks.
Basic principles. No woman wakes up saying, God, I hope I don't get swept off my feet today. Now what she might say is, this is a really bad time for me. Or something like, I just need some space. Or my personal favorite, I'm really into my career right now. Do you believe that? Neither does she. You know why? Because she's lying to you, that's why. You hear me? Lying. This isn't a bad time for her. She doesn't need any space. She may be into her career, but what she's really trying to tell you is, get away from me now, or possibly try again, stupid. But which one is it? 60% of all human communication is nonverbal, body language. 30% is tone. So that means 90% of what you're saying ain't even coming out of your mouth. So of course she's going to lie to you. She's a nice person. She doesn't want to hurt your feelings. What else is she going to say? She doesn't even know you yet. Luckily, the fact here is that just like the rest of us, even a beautiful woman doesn't know what she wants until she sees it. And that's where I come in. My job is to help open her eyes. Basic principles. No matter what, no matter when, no matter who. Any man has a chance to sweep any woman off her feet. Just needs the right broom. What's your name?
Fuck you. That's my name. You know why, mister? Because you drove here in a Hyundai tonight, and I drove here in an $80,000 BMW. That's my name. And your name is your wanting. And you can't play in the man's game. You can't close. Why don't you go home and tell your wife your troubles? Because only one thing matters in this life. You get them to sign on the line which is dotted. You hear me, you fucking faggots? A, B, C. Always be closing. Always be closing. Always be closing. AIDA. Attention, interest, decision, action. Attention. Do I have your attention? Interest. Are you interested? I know you are, because it's fuck or walk. You close or you hit the bricks. Decision. Have you made your decision for Christ? Action. AIDA. Get out there. You got the prospects rolling in. You think they came in to get out of the rain? Guy doesn't walk on the lot unless he wants to buy. Standing out there, waiting to give you their money. Are you going to take it? Are you man enough to take it?
I got that camera in 4th grade. There's a story behind it, actually. It starts in the basement of my best friend's house. His name was Kent Bartlett. He was this wicked kid that used to live down the street from me. About the only thing we had in common was that we both liked books a lot. So, one day, I come over to his house, and he drags me into the basement to show me his dad's collection of dirty magazines. Now, sex at that age was nothing more than a naughty word. So, I had no problem telling him, I like naked men, not naked women. I don't know why I knew it so early. Just a feeling, I guess, you know? Like, at some point in my life, it was gonna be an issue. Like, my whole sexual destiny had been encoded in my subconscious. I certainly didn't know what it meant to like naked men, and I don't think Kent did either. But we soon found out. Kent started acting weird. He wouldn't talk to me anymore. He wouldn't sit next to me on the bus. And one Friday, he came on the bus with all of his friends. They were all going to his 9th birthday party. I played cool, but the second I got off that bus, man, I ran so fucking fast back to my house so nobody would see me cry. And I get home and my mom's there, and she asked me what's wrong. And I told her. She immediately picked up the phone and she just fucking wailed Kent's mom for not inviting me to that party. And when she hung up the phone, she had tears too. Kent's mom had told her what had happened. You know, Kent must have naively asked his mom what it meant, that I liked naked men. And now Mrs. Bartlett didn't want me hanging around with Kent anymore. I had never seen my mother cry before. And it hurt so much to see that she was just as, vulnerable, I guess, as I was. So she started to cry more. And I started to cry more. And we just sat there crying for a few minutes. And then she said, you know what? We're going to have a party of our own. See, my birthday is only a few weeks after Kent's, so she already had my present upstairs in the closet. It was the Polaroid, of course. Man, I was so happy, because it was exactly what I wanted. I forgot all about Kent's mom and my mom. And then she served us birthday ding-dongs, and we just sat there across from each other, eating in silence.
You stupid fucking cunt. You, Williamson, I'm talking to you. You know what you did? You just cost me $6,000. $6,000 and a Cadillac. What are you gonna do about it? What are you gonna do about it, asshole? You fucking cunt. Who told you that you could work with men? Huh? I'm gonna have your job. I'm going downtown. I'm gonna talk to Mitch and Mary. I'm gonna talk to Limkin, huh? I don't care who nephew you are, who you know, whose dick you've been sucking. I'm gonna have your job. You're getting out of here, I swear to you. Anyone in this office lives on their wits. What we hired you for was to help us. Is that not clear to you? To help us. Not to fuck us over. To help every man that goes out here and earns a living. I'll tell you something else. A little friend here, I can tell him something to help him catch you. You want to learn the first rule you know if you ever spent a day in your life? Never open your mouth until you know what the shot is. You fucking child.
$20 million.
Oh, see, now that pisses me off. First of all, since the demurrer, we've had more than 400 plaintiffs. And let's be honest, we all know there's more out there. And so, now, these people may not be the most sophisticated people, but they do know how to divide. And $20 million between them isn't shit. Second, these people don't dream about being rich. They dream about being able to watch their kids swim in a pool without worrying they'll have to have a hysterectomy at age 20, like Rosa Diaz, one of our clients, or have their spine deteriorate, like Stan Bloom, another one of our clients. So before you come back here with another lame-ass offer, I want you to think real hard about how much your spine is worth, Mr. Buddha, or what you'd expect someone to pay you for your uterus, Ms. Sanchez, and then I want you to take out your calculators and multiply that number by 100. Anything less is a waste of our time.
David, come. You asked me about Ralphie. I think that the time has come for me to tell you. My son, Ralphie, was beautiful, strong and handsome, big as a man. But he was very troubled all of his life. Nobody knew what to do for him. Not the doctors, not the priests, nobody. And when he was 15, he fell in love with Dora Cambridge. She played with him. And when she was through playing with him, she threw him away. My son, great Dora Cambridge. When I found out that Ralphie had raped Dora, I went and confronted him about it by telling him that he was no longer my son and that he had disgraced me. And Ralphie grabbed me by my throat. I kept trying to tell him it was me. my son begin to touch me the way that no son should ever touch his mother. My son raped me and then threw himself off a cliff into the sea. And I've lived with this until I come to America and found you.
Sam, okay, I know you think I'm just some...
Coward. Phony.
Okay, just listen.
No, you listen. You turned out to be exactly who I thought you were. I never pretended to be somebody else. It's been me all along. And it was me that was hurt in front of everybody. Look, I didn't come here to yell at you. I came to tell you I know what it feels like to be afraid to show who you are. I was, but I'm not anymore. And the thing is I don't really care what other people think about me. Because I believe in myself. And I know that things are going to be okay. And even though I have no family, no job, and no money for college, it's you that I feel sorry for. I know that guy that sent those emails is somewhere down inside of you. But I can't wait for him. Because waiting for you is like waiting for rain in this drought. Useless and disappointing.
As a boy, I traveled with a group of actors through the free cities. One day, in Mir, a man made my master an offer too tempting to refuse. I thought that this man meant to use me the way I heard some men use small boys, but what he wanted was far worse. He gave me a potion that made me unable to move or speak, yet did nothing to dull my senses. With a hooked blade, he sliced me root and stem, chanting all the while. Burned my parts in a brazier, the flames turned blue, and I heard a voice answer his call. I still dream of that night. Was it a god, a demon, a conjurer's trick? I don't know. The man called, and a voice answered. And ever since that day, I have hated magic and all those who practice it. So you can see why I was so eager to aid you in your fight against Stannis and his Red Priestess. A symbolic revenge of sorts. Once the man was through with me, he threw me out of his house to die. I resolved to live, to spite him. I begged. I sold what parts of my body remained to me, and I became an excellent thief. And I soon learned that the contents of a man's letters were more valuable than the contents of his purse. Step by step, one distasteful task after another, I worked my way up from the slums of Mir to the small council chamber. Influence grows like a weed. I tended mine carefully until its tentacles reached all the way from that of the Red Keep to the far reaches of the world, while I've managed to wrap them around something very special. Hello, my old friend.
Janice Ian? Let me tell you something about Janice Ian. We were best friends in middle school. I know, right? So embarrassing. And then in 8th grade, I started going out with my first boyfriend, Kyle, who's totally hot, but then he moved to Indiana. And Janice was, like, weirdly jealous of him. Like, if I would blow her off to hang out with Kyle, she would be like, why didn't you call me back? And I'd be like, why are you so obsessed with me? So for my birthday party that year, which was an all-girls pool party, I was like, Janice, I don't think I can invite you because I think you're a lesbian. So then her mom called my mom and started yelling at her, and it was so retarded. And then she dropped out of school because nobody would talk to her. And she came back for high school in fall, and her hair was all cut off, and she was totally weird, and I guess now she's on crack. Oh my God, I love your skirt. Where'd you get it? Vintage, so adorable. That's the ugliest effing skirt I've ever seen.
Being the son of a white plantation owner, coming in contact with a whole lot of black faces. This is old Ben. Old Ben took care of my daddy and my daddy's daddy. Till he up and killed over one day. Old Ben took care of me. The science of phenology dictates the difference between our two species. Now, if I were to take the skull of Isaac Newton or Galileo, he would have 3 dimples in the part of the skull most associated with creativity. But as for you, those 3 dimples are located in the part of the skull most associated with civility. Now, bright boy, I will admit you are clever. But if I were to take this here hammer and I bashed in your skull, you would have the same 3 dimples in the same place as old Ben. Ah! You lay your palms flat on that tabletop. If either one of you lift your palms off this turtle shell tabletop, Mr. Pooch here is gonna unload both pairs of that sawed off. There have been a lot of lies said around this here dinner table tonight, but that you can believe. Now, Doctor, before I made my exit, we were discussing the proposition of you purchasing Hildy. Bring out Hildy. Sit your ass in the goddamn chair. Shut up. Now, Doctor, in Greenville, you said that for the right nigger, you'd be willing to pay what some would consider a ridiculous amount. To which I myself said, what would you consider ridiculous? To which you said, $12,000. Now, considering y'all done ran through a whole lot of miles, and then been through a whole lot of trouble, and done spit a whole lot of bull, it would appear, in fact, that Broomhilda is the right nigger. And if y'all decide that my price for this lily here is too steep for y'all, what I'm going to decide to do is take this here hammer and beat her ass to death with it, right in front of both of y'all. Now, what's it gonna be, Doc? Huh? What's it gonna be?
I'll pay the $12,000.
Sold for $12,000 to the man with the exceptional beard and his unexceptional nigger. Mr. Mogi, would you be so kind as to draw a receipt for $12,000 for these gentlemen? Now, gentlemen, it's been a pleasure doing business with both of y'all. If you would be so kind as to serve me in the parlor
For dessert, we will be serving white cake.
Well, technology is a glittering lure, but there is the rare occasion when the public can be engaged on a level beyond flash if they have a sentimental bond with the product. My first job, I was in-house at a fur company with an old pro copywriter named Teddy. Teddy told me the most important idea in advertising is new, creates an itch. You simply put your product out as a kind of calamine lotion. But he also told me about a deeper bond with the product, nostalgia. It's delicate, but potent. Teddy told me that in Greek, nostalgia literally means the pain from an old wound. It is a twinge on your heart, far more powerful than memory alone. This device isn't a spaceship. It's a time machine. It goes backwards, forwards, takes you to a place where you ache to go again. It's not called the wheel. It's called the carousel. It lets you travel the way a child travels, round and around, and back home again to a place where we know we're loved.
Do you ever think of yourself as actually dead, lying in a box with a lid on it? Nor do I, really. I mean, one thinks of it as that being alive in a box. One keeps forgetting to take into account that one is actually dead, which should make all the difference. Shouldn't it? I mean, you wouldn't know you're in a box, would you? It would be like you were asleep in a box. Not that I would like to sleep in a box, mind you, especially without any air in it. You'd wake up dead for a start, and then where would you be? In a box. And that's the bit I don't like, frankly. That's why I don't think about it. Because you'd be completely helpless, wouldn't you? Stuffed in a box like that. Stuck in there forever. I mean, even taking into account the fact that you're dead, still not a very pleasant thought, is it? Especially if you're dead. Ask yourself, if I were to ask you, straight off, I'm going to put you in a box right now, would you prefer to be alive or dead? Naturally, you'd prefer to be alive. Life in a box is better than no life at all, I'd expect. At least you'd have a chance. You could lie there thinking, well, at least I'm not dead. Any minute now, someone's going to come tapping on the lid and ask me to come out. Hey you, what's your name? Get out of there.
Man, 4 years ago, that's all I could dream about was playing in the NBA. But now, it's like I don't even dream about it anymore. I mean, I love playing basketball, but it's just other things that I want to do in my life. And it's like people always coming up to me, and they're like, yo, man, when you make it to the NBA, don't forget about me. And that's cool and all, but what I should have been telling them is, if I don't make it, don't forget about me.
I've seen things you people wouldn't believe. Attack ships on fire off the shoulders of Orion. I've seen sea beams glitter in the dark before the Tannhauser Gate. All these moments will be lost in time, like tears in the rain. Time to die.
It wasn't nothing to you, but it was something to me. To have you just up and walk out like that? What you think happened to me? Did you ever stop to ask yourself, I wonder how Vera doing? I wonder how she feel? I lay here every night in an empty bed, in an empty room. Where? Someplace special? Someplace where you have been? The same room you walked out of, the same bed you turned your back on. You give it up and then you want it. What type of sense does that make? You had what you want and I didn't. You one of them special people. You're supposed to have everything you want just the way you want it. I wanted to know where you were bruised at, so I could be a woman for you, so I could touch you there, so I could spread myself all over you and know that I was a woman, that I could give a man only those things a woman can give. So he can be like, yes, Vera, a woman. You said it, but you never believed it. You never showed me all those places where you were a man. You went to Pearl Brown and you showed her. I don't know what she did or didn't do. But I look up and you came back here right after I had given you up already. After I walked through this house for 1.5 years searching for you. After I laid myself out on this bed searching for your fingerprints. He touched me here. Floyd touched me here, and he touched me here, and he touched me here. And he kissed me here. And he gave me here. And he took me here. And he ain't here. He ain't here, so quit looking for him because he ain't here. He's there. There in Chicago. With another woman. And all I got is a little bit of nothing. A little bit of touching. A little bit of myself left. It ain't even here no more. What you looking for? But you remember? It ain't even here no more.
To sum up the 4 hours discussion that followed, it's not easy being in a relationship. Much less to truly know the other person and accept them as they are with all their flaws and baggage. Jack confessed to me his fear of being rejected if I truly knew him. If he showed himself totally bare to me. Jack realized that after 2 years of being with me, he didn't know me at all. Nor did I him, and to truly know and love each other, we needed to know the truth about each other. Either it's not so easy to take. So, I told him the truth, which was that I never cheated on him, and I also had been with Mathul that afternoon. He didn't get mad at me because nothing had happened, of course. I confessed to Jack that the toughest thing for me was to decide to be with one person for the rest of my life. The idea that this is it. This is the man I'm going to spend the rest of my life with. To make the decision that I'm going to stay and make the effort and work things out and not run off the minute there's a problem it's very difficult for me. Jack asked me if I thought I was a squirrel collecting men like nuts to put away for cold winters. I thought that was kind of funny. But then he said something that hurt my feelings and the tone changed drastically. Then I misunderstood what he said. I thought he meant that he didn't love me, he wanted to break up with me.
It always fascinates me how people can go from loving you madly to nothing at all. Nothing. It hurts so much. When I feel that someone's going to leave me, I tend to break up with them first, so I don't have to hear the rest. And then we'll bump into each other later, we'll introduce our new boyfriend and girlfriend, we'll act as if we had never been together, then day by day, we'll think about each other less and less until we forget about each other completely. Almost. It's always the same for me. Break up, break down, drink up, fool around, meet one guy, then another, forget the one and only. Then, after a few months of complete loneliness, you walk around, you look for a new love, and you swear it's the one. You swear it. And that one's gone as well. There comes a moment in your life where you can't recover from another breakup. And then you realize that even if he does bug you 60% of the time, well, you can't live without him. And even if he wakes you up every day by sneezing right in your face, well, you love his sneezes more than anyone else's kisses.
Alright, I'm not going to beat around the bush. Your body's changing. It's all good, believe me. The problem now is, every time we jerk the gherkin, we end up with a lot of unwanted sticky white stuff, right? Right. Alright, so first order of business. No more socks. They're expensive, gumming up the works, plumbing-wise. Now, I know you're probably thinking, well, Uncle Andy, what do I do with all that Pearl Jam if I can't spew it into Mr. Sock? I'm glad you asked. You can have a lovely time tugging the tiger in the shower each morning. That eliminates the need for a goo glove. But the day is long, masturbation's fun, so unless we're going to be taking like 4 or 5 showers every day, we're going to need some other options. Let's start with the basics. Tissues, perfectly acceptable form of backstop for all that creamy Italian. Although it can be rough and dry on such soft, sensitive skin, plus it'll stick your dickhead like a fucking Band-Aid. Ouch. Moving on to more lubricated flat catchers, specifically bananas. Step 1, peel the banana. Step 2, slip the peel over your Randy Johnson, start pitching. Now for extra credit, you can heat up the peel in the microwave. Not too hot, serious yowza. Also, olive oil, moisturizer, honey, spit, butter, hair conditioner, and Vaseline can all be used for lube. In my opinion, the best lube is lube. So, save up your allowance, invest in some soon. Alright, moving on. When you're tugging your Thompson on the toilet, straight into the bowl. In bed, a soft t-shirt, perhaps a downy hand towel of your very own that you don't mind tossing after tossing. There's no such thing as polishing the raised scepter of love too much. It relieves stress, enhances immune function. Also, practice makes perfect. So work on your control now while you're a solo artist. You'll be playing some long, happy duets in the future. Alright, class dismissed.